Hey girl, welcome. Be nice to see your face today. Thank you for jumping into Newbie Circle the other day. Um, so those of you guys who've never been here before, what we do is we do messaging for an hour, and the goal is to get out 100 plus messages, but at least 100 bare minimum. And then for the next hour, we have a discussion, get our mind in the right place in order to slay the week, okay? To kill the week. Whatever you have to do to be focused and be here in this space, I highly suggest doing it. I'd love to hear from someone who are you guys on that went to the event? I think I saw Cass who went to the event on Saturday. I would love to start there. That'd be great.
Hi guys, I'll hop in. It was really good. I had to pull up my notes from get my phone real quick. Really enlightening, enjoyed it. We even had the honor of having John there as well. John, Stacy, and Sherry, Lynn, and Joey. They all were there, so it was pretty cool. Got to take pictures with them, hear their heart again, hear some stories. I will say a couple of the big takeaways that I wrote down that really impacted, and anybody else that was there can definitely hop in. They tried about it, how the business can meet you where you're at, how grabbing my notes. Your personal goals lead to your team goals, and then to really be clear on what your team goals and your personal goals are. They touched on vision, that vision matters. Especially because they said the days that you don't feel like showing up, your vision will matter to help you show up. And so it was pretty good. They had us even close our eyes, dream about where do you see yourself? Like close your eyes, and a lot of the stuff that we've done before with Rachel in the Becoming series and Becoming, what was the other series? Where you had us close our eyes and really like vision and putting it into practical. And so it just reminded me, I was like, I have to do that daily. Like I have to set time aside each day to do it. I put it in my calendar, but I have to make sure I do it, like sit and really envision and feel it at the same time. And not just for myself, what do I vision my team? Like, how is it gonna bless other people? How like these bonuses that we have on the table, what are they gonna do for those people? Like, I know I have distributors who are coming back in where it's like, this is paying their rent, this is paying their car note, this is paying their childcare, how is this gonna bless them? Anybody else wanna hop in? I got to look at my notes to get the other stuff.
Yeah, I'll go. So with this event, for like some reason, I was like extremely nervous. I don't know why, but it was girl, girl. It was it was very fun. I got to meet new people. I finally got to meet Robin and Paris in person, which was pretty dope. It was really cool. Um, and one of the things that stuck out to me was basically um, when they said, I can, I will, and when I do, to God be the glory. It stuck with me because it reminded me that we're still serving, and to not just forget that aspect, to help anybody that we can, um, and to remain humble, to hear all their stories and to kind of just, it just made me be like, okay, like if they can do it, I can do it too. Um, and it really just put a lot of things in perspective. So that was pretty cool.
I don't have my notes with me, but the one thing that that I remembered was they were talking about attaching items to your goals. So like if you wanted to pay off your car or whatever, that you had that right in front of you. You attach this bonus with this goal, this bonus with this. And then they were said to focus on serving others and not what's going on with you. So if you think that your why is to be debt free, you think about how many other people you can help doing that. You have to go first, but when you go first, think about all the other people attached to you, the lives that you will change when you go first. So first you lead, but then you bring people along with you.
Okay, just to hop back in, I did get to look at my notes. Additional to what they said, because I have those down. One of them was decide. Busy is never going away. Like, it's never going away for anybody. And that's even to our potential distributors. So when people say, oh, I'm so busy, it's like, well, busy is never going to go away. You know, it's make excuses or make money, but you can't make both. And so they mentioned that. And then additional to what Cassandra and Jokel already said, it was you got to speak to change your mindset. And so those times when you feel discouraged or like you just got frustrated, it was like you got to speak to change your mindset. And we know that. And it was like, thank you, God, for what I have. Quit looking at what you don't have and water the grass where you are. They touched on gratitude and mindset. Joey and Amanda Boucher did. When you get frustrated in that moment, start speaking gratitude. And then they went on to talk about SMART goals. So some of the tips they gave, the acronym was SMART goals, and it stood for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-based goals. And so Sherry Lynn really went into that, where like result-based goals are like set a rank, for example, or how to make new loyal customers. How many new loyal customers is your goal? How many new distributors is your goal? And then action-based goals were how many new names will you add to your list? How many new conversations? How many follow-ups? And then fall in love with the process, and the results will follow. And oh, they also, and as we know, vision matters, but action is a must behind it. And so they ended, John spoke a couple of times, but they ended with eek. Oh my gosh, did I just delete it? Hold on, I'll come back. I don't know where it went.
So yeah, pretty much our cast is looking for that. Whatever event is coming near you, you need to go. Like, you need to go. Figure it out. I know they're going to be dropping more dates here, but if it's within 4 to 6 hours, you need to make your way there. Brittany, is Destiny on? No, what's she doing? She at work. Brittany wants to share.
Good morning, y'all. So like she said, for the events, if that's within 4 to 6 hours, you definitely need to go. But if your distributors are within 4 to 6 hours of you as well, it would be within your best interest to go and launch them as well in person. We do have Zoom, that we could do it on, but it's nothing like the in-person parties. And I actually was able to do 2 parties this weekend. I did one with Rachel on Friday, and then I drove to Rockford on Saturday and did a party with Destiny, one of the girls in my downline. And it doesn't have to be somebody that you personally enrolled. That's one thing that I have always said. I don't care if I, personally enroll you or not. If you're in my organization, I'm going to help you, because at the end of the day, as I help you change your life, it will help me change mine. And so doesn't have to be personally enrolled or anything. You just want to make that connection. And it was so fun. Like, we had so much fun. And people fight harder for people that they actually know and have a connection with. And so it gave her the ability to see my heart, see that I'm a real person, get to really know me and connect with me on a deeper level. I got to connect with her. I got to meet her family, her husband, her children, like her mom, her dad, like everybody. And so now we have that even deeper connection, which will allow me to coach her. Like the walls will fall down. She will be more receptive to what I say. She actually signed a distributor because I went up there to launch her. She has somebody on the a potential loyal customer who will probably turn into a distributor as well. On the line. So it was really fun. Like we really got to connect. And she was like, you know, I really appreciate you coming down here to launch me. And so it was good. Like it felt really, really good. And parties are the bomb. Like on Friday, doing that party with Rachel, it was funny. Like and so you don't know what you're gonna expect. I mean, you don't know what to expect going into parties. So you will have to like read the room and kind of, you know, switch things up if need be. But it's just fun to connect. But even Brittany at that party, she got to sign a huge loyal, and then also had some big loyals coming in. And so people like to touch, taste, and feel the products. And so being in the room with them, allowing them to sample and stuff like that, it really helps with the close. It really helps get them over that hump and actually closing. So dude, if y'all got distributors, open up your calendars, look through your downline, talk to everybody, start getting parties on the schedule now. And I'm gonna tell you, like me, I was like, man, you know, I used to think like I could, you know, that's 4 hours on the road. Like that's 4 hours that I could be sending messages. But sending messages in comparison to actually going to do things in person, the in person takes it to a whole nother level. And so it can never amount to, you can send 150 messages and not get a distributor, but you can go take, you know, a couple of hours out to actually get in person and connect with your distributors and close a 400 box, or, you know, close a be boxed in for a rank or something like that. So just even being mindful of that, like it's not like it's worth it. It's definitely worth it. So get them parties set and get them connections made. I'm telling you, it's gonna take your business to a whole other level.
And I'm gonna just be blatantly honest at first, because it was listen, you can't tell me you want something, but you're not doing all that you can to get it. Okay, because I'm gonna figure out where's the gray area that you're not covering that. And I'm gonna be like, so why? Like, I don't understand. If you're saying that you really want something, why are you not going the extra mile or the distance to make it happen? You know what I mean? Like, what do you really want it? Like, do you really want it? Because ultimately your actions show that you don't. And so I asked Brittany, I said, she lived where? Because you know, when I did all of her calls, yeah, I like when I hop on, I like to connect with people. I want to know, I want to see you. Cause listen, I'm Shavazier, I think I said that right. I would see you out in the streets and I wouldn't know how you look now. Listen. So I like to see people's faces and see who I'm talking to. Well, but nigga, she was all with me on New Circle on Saturday. Hey, I'm so glad. You're so beautiful. So I like to connect with people. So I ask questions and she's like, I'm a rapper. And I'm like, I mean, I know rapper is like up near Chicago, but Brittany, listen, I got 4 kids, a husband, and a dog, but what you got? Like, what you got that's stopping you from going to launch her? And so I was like, why haven't you launched her? And she's like, I'm like, all right, like this weekend, what you doing? Like, go launch that girl. You know what I'm saying? And so having people that will hold you accountable to things like that, because there's no reason not to. And I know we're kind of getting new systems in place to do parties and presentations because we've been online for so long, but that ain't an excuse, y'all. I did not use a presentation on Friday. I did not. And it wasn't because we didn't have a presentation. It was because the presentation was not for that party. Like it just was not. It was not for that party. But because they were able to touch, feel, smell, and taste, it was very simple to walk through. Our testimonies even share. I don't even think we really share before and after pictures, which is something that is normally a winner at parties. but it still got some amazing orders in, got some good questions, and they had a good time. Like, they had a lot of fun. And so that's what matters. And it matters that your distributor is encouraged, your distributor knows that they are supported, because ultimately it's about them. And it kind of goes back to Black excellence, where we talked about doing all things unto him. You worry about them and God will worry about you. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we'd be so concerned. I was listening to Pastor Hannah the other day, and he was just talking about how, he was reading the scripture about, it was like, I. And it was, a downfall. Like, it was like, you're so worried about yourself. Like, you're wondering why your business is not flourishing, because you always have an I statement to put out here. I have to do this. I have this. This is going on in my life. I feel like this, or whatever it may be, when ultimately you're really hurting yourself, and you're wondering why you're not able to succeed the way that you desire to, because you have too many eyes and you're so focused on yourself. I'm sure your team is desiring that space of being concerned about, or they don't even know what they don't know. And ultimately you're giving them a bad experience. And so stop making excuses and find a way to find results, and ask people who live near people. So for example, like our whole Chicago crew, y'all should be on deck. We have parties, y'all should be willing to go do parties. But in order to be confident in doing parties, you have to do what? Parties. And shout out to, I'm gonna actually hit up Miss Yania. Brittany told y'all that, but I'll be in contact by the middle of the week to talk to you ladies about helping me out this weekend. So yes, it's so good.
So real quick, just to wrap it up from this weekend in Dallas, I would definitely say a couple of tips. Invite not only your PDTs, but also your PLCs, because they do get to try the products. They are giving our headquarters, corporate is doing an amazing job. They are giving like a free gift to all guests that come. And so that can be like incentives that you can offer to your people to come with you. They do the intro, like opportunity at the beginning. So they're going through all of that as well. And they also shared, and one thing that really just also instilled another piece of confidence for me, I love our company. It was when they talked about our gives back. They did touch on our gives back, and it was pretty exciting and great to see that we've already given over $1.8 million. And if you're a part of that, if you given back and like in your e-suite or whatever, that's $1, $3, whatever that is, you are a part of that. And so you can put that on your chest and have some pride. Like, hey, my company has already given back to over $1.8 million. And here are the organizations that we're giving to. And so it was pretty awesome to see that. And just like, that's no chump change, y'all. It was really not. And it's such a blessing, we're blessed to be able to be a blessing.
So, big week, very big week. We have people who are eligible for Ruby bonuses. Emerald, actually, most of the team is eligible for Ruby and Emerald bonuses, okay? And so let's talk about closing and what that looks like. And then also, like if you got paid on the 15th, or you already got paid from your job, ain't no reason your auto shipment running on the 25th. Like, your auto shipment should have ran as soon as you got paid, like your bills, like straight up. It should have already ran. And if you're hesitating to run an auto shipment, how committed are you to your business? That's just being completely honest. Like, if you're, it's almost like, well, I'm gonna get this if this. Who was it? Jason Tatum last night. Jason Tatum, he was saying how, people first of all, let me say, everybody know who Jason Tatum is? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. Y'all should know, even if y'all not from St. Louis. Okay. All right. So I'm not from St. Louis, by the way, but I mean, I associate with St. Louis a little bit, just a little bit. So anyways, so Jason Tatum, if y'all don't know, he came from St. Louis. He went to Chaminade, which is an all boy private school up here. played for NBA basketball, NBA, Nike basketball, whatever. He's been an all-star for a long time, okay? My husband and I, we used to go see Tatum play. It's crazy. I was looking at some footage of him like way back in the day, like maybe when he was like a sophomore in high school. Like we used to go to their games. We used to see them in tournaments. Like he has been down for the cause for a long time. He loves basketball. He's committed to his craft, right? And what he said last night during the All-Star game, he said, like when you have a plan A and there is no plan B, you commit to plan A differently. He said basketball was always going to work out for me. It is what it is. It kind of makes me think about LeBron. If y'all don't know, LeBron just set a new record, didn't try to set it, but set it by just being great and working on his greatness, not other people's greatness, but his greatness, working on being the best him. And it was talking about the longevity of his body and how he has to take care of his body in order to perform at 38 the way some of these 18-year-olds are performing. He has to take care of his body, but he also has to be committed to the craft. He has to be committed to the craft. You don't see, and I'm not being shady, but you don't see him out here being a rapper while being a ball player. Like everything that he does goes in alignment with him committed to his craft as the greatest of all time basketball player. So in order to be the greatest of all time basketball player, you have to be a holistic person. It's the same thing with this business. In order to be great here, you have to be great everywhere. It's literally how you do anything is how you do everything. This is why we implement things like house days. And you be like, what they got to do with business? I mean, if you keep moving towards it, you'll learn. You'll learn what it has to do with business, right? It'll make sense to you when later on, how, we say find a space where you can sit instead of sitting in your bed and working. You need a designated space where you work your business. Like all of these things line up to being in a place of greatness. But what he said though, Tatum said, he said, this was always my plan A. There was a point in my business where I was working a full-time job and I made this my plan A. Why did I make it my plan A? And if it don't apply, let it fly. But why did I make it my plan A? Because I saw freedom here that my plan other would never give me. Could never give me. Like could never. I also felt a pull in my heart, because some of you guys have felt it, a pull in my heart for greater without the restrictions of people that did not have the vision that God had given me. And I was only 25, y'all. I was like 25, 26. I didn't understand what that even meant. But I did know that there was such a great pull to be great here. And so if there was a pull to be great here, yeah, some of it was the money, okay? Sorry about a lady making $15,000 a month. I'm like, how, sis? Because let me know. If I don't need a degree to make $15,000 a month and I get to help people, which is what I love doing. I was in social services field. I was like, if I get to help people, man, I could, like any passion that I have, I can create something out of that. Right? And it's crazy. I was listening to this book. Because listen, I'm always finessing my mind. And he was talking about Taylor Swift. And he was like, I bet you Taylor Swift does not work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But she gets paid 24 hours a day, 7 days a week because of what she did, because of her commitment to her craft. Now, she may have times and deadlines where she's like really getting it in the studio all night. Like she has times like that. But that ain't her life 24/7. If Taylor Swift wants to go on a vacation, she can. Do you get what I'm saying? Like she has that ability to have that space. And so how committed are you to your craft? Are you really that committed? Or are you in a place where you're in bondage, but you won't commit regardless? It's almost like, y'all ever seen somebody, it makes me think about Paul when he was in jail, but he was free. Y'all can talk about like he was in jail, but he was free. And some of you guys don't need to quit your job. Please don't do it. But you can find freedom in the space of your job. Just don't find so much freedom that they fire you, because that's what I did. I found the freedom. I did. I found the freedom. And it wasn't that I was neglecting my craft. I believe God just wanted me to be pushed out because he wanted me to fully commit to what he called me to. I mean, that's my analysis of the situation. If God can correct me if he wants to. But I believe that he wanted me out of there because I had an end date. I said, as soon as I can build my business to Double Diamond, I'm out of here. Like, I'm out of here because I'm in this space where Double Diamond will put me in a place of more than enough, but then it'll also put me in a space where I can begin to dream bigger. I can begin to dream bigger because my job is never going to give me one time $4,000. They wouldn't even give me $4,000 a month with a master's degree, which is sad. With a master's degree, I wasn't making $4,000 a month. That's crazy. Like, that's crazy with a master's degree. And then also you got to think of how they take your taxes out and all of that. Like, you ain't seeing no money no way. Like, you barely seeing any money. But then it also kept me in a mindset that was not dreaming bigger. It wasn't. It was not putting me in that space where I could dream bigger. But with bigger dreams comes bigger work. It comes bigger work. It comes sacrifices. It comes fighting. It comes like, actually, somebody say, well, I got these potentials. Girl, if you don't call every single one of them potentials, like, not wasting time. It comes that space where you're willing to actually commit to it. It comes to a space where you're able to boss yourself around and do things that you don't want to do. So what? That's crazy. And think about that. You come to a space where you do things that you in your business, like this business entity. You got too many choices. How do you give yourself so many choices? If you put this on your schedule today, you should be here. You shouldn't be doing nothing else. You should be here. Because if you was at your job and they called you into work, you would be there. And if you on your phone, guess what? You getting rolled up, you getting in trouble, you getting sent home. So why don't you respect your business? Why does it take someone else to tell you what to do? But you want to be a millionaire. You want to make $10,000 a month. How? With that discipline, where somebody else has to always boss you around. If you're in a place where you cannot boss yourself around, you will not be in a space of $15,000 a month, $10,000. You won't even be in a space of $4,000 a month. Not here, because you have to boss yourself around. It's not if I feel like it. It's not, so what? If you had to go in the bathroom at work and cry, you would do it, get your butt out and go back to your job. You've done it. Most people. Because you had a bad day, something happened, you got some news that you did, but you were still at work. And so guess what you had to do? Be at work, or you had to ask for permission to leave. You had to ask for permission to leave. And so why do you give yourself so much freedom in this space? It's not, am I showing up? Or I give myself some grace to not show up. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You need to show up regardless. You need to show up regardless. You need to send the messages regardless. And whatever you have to do in order to give yourself that kind of accountability, that's what you need to do. If you need to hop on Zoom and say, hey, today I'd like to be the one to share my screen so I can have accountability. Come on, get some hair on your chest, like straight up. I pray I never get some hair on my chest, but you know what I'm talking about, like straight up, like get some cojones. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. For real. Go ahead, Patricia.
Hey everybody, good morning. So I was sitting here and I was like, when you talked about giving yourself so much grace, right? And you talked about being in your bed working, and you talked about having a house day, and you talked about those things. I was like, yeah, Rachel has said a few of those things to me before. And immediately what popped up in my mind was how I thought to myself the other day, I was like, you know what, who cares? Like, who cares what I think about what Rachel said? Like, Rachel has made $1 million in this business, like insert income disclosure statement. Like, sorry. No, because you got the whole trophy, right? Like you got the proof. Okay. So, and I say that not to like, whatever, I'm not even finishing that statement, but I say it because it has been one of those things for me where I've had so many life experiences, and I don't share half of them because I don't ever want it to look like I'm bragging or boasting about where I've been and what I've done. But a part of me sometimes thinks like, oh, I'm not impressed by that because I've, done X, Y, and Z. And then I remind myself, you haven't done it in this business, right? Like you haven't done it here in this space. You've done all these things, great, like round of applause, but like in this space, your mentor said, do this. So it doesn't matter all of your background experiences. It doesn't matter all of your whatevers. What matters is do what she said, because that's what she said. And you ain't even making a consistent $500 a month. So who are you to say you don't have to do what she said because you don't feel like it? Or I remember one time she told me about a house day, and I was like, listen, I'm home, Gabby is homeschooled. I can throw a load of clothes in the morning, in the washing machine in the morning, and then I'll get started on my business. And it's like, you tell yourself, oh, I can do this, and then you don't do it, because when you don't have, that's it, Travia, submitting to your leadership. And so many of us say we're submitted, and that's my coach and that's my mentor, but you're lying, because if it was, you'd be doing all the things that they say do. You wouldn't pick and choose when you do it, what you do, how often you do it. You would do it. And it gets to a place where you're just like, I sis myself all the time. Y'all know that. Like, sis, like, stop, because you're really just saying it so you can be seen saying something. Like, just stop, because if you're not doing it, saying it doesn't matter. And it's like so annoying to me, with me, right? Like, I ain't even talking about y'all. Talk about me, okay? And the Holy Spirit was like, say it, okay? Because at first I was like, no, and all the time in the back of my mind, I'd be like, oh, you know how they say, either you need the room or the room needs you. And I got up because I had to go check on the little one. And I was like, because she off, y'all, it's President's Day. So she just out here living her best life. And I'm just like, no, I got a meeting. I need you to leave me alone. So anyway, I was like, when I got up, I was like, either the room needs you or you need the room. And I was sitting here like, I don't even need this today. Like, I don't even need this today. And I was like, why am I even here? Like, let me just get the tasks and go get them done and log off. Cause like, I don't really need to be in this space. And then immediately the Holy Spirit was like, because your mentor said, be on MMU every Monday. Like, you don't get to choose. If you can choose, I literally just had my porch roof taken off yesterday, and the thing was like caving in so bad, y'all. I was like, please, Jesus, hold the snow in Philadelphia, because if you don't, we're not gonna be able to get out the door, okay? Because the roof's about to fall in. But God is able, okay? He's faithful. And I say all that to say that if you can't up and do everything you need to get done, like today, because it ain't no money in your account, but you tell people that Rachel's your mentor, you lying, because if you're not doing everything she say to do, when she say to do it, how she's, not because she's perfect, no, not because she's Jesus, not because of any of those things, but because she's been and is where you say you want to be. That's it. She's not your pastor. She's not Jesus. She can't walk on water, but she's been and is where you say you want to be. She's built a house with this business, with money from this business. If you've built a house, yay. But did you build a house with the money from this business? And if not, and you want to do something like that, then you need to do what she say do. And I'm really preaching to myself, because I'm tired of the pity parties. I'm tired of hearing people talk about, oh, I really want to do this. And do you? Like she just said, like, do you? And I'm really looking at myself in the mirror, in the camera, because I'm asking myself, like, do you? Because you'll pull out all the stops. You'll stop making excuses. You'll set up a workspace. You'll get up and get on the power hours. You won't make excuses for yourself and give yourself grace. Like, oh, because today can be day one. Sis, you'll never get to 100 days if every day is day one. You'll never make $1 million if every day is day one. You'll never like promote and stay in that same rank if every day is day one. Like, stop playing. You know what you need to do, so just do it. And if you don't know, you need to ask. But like, if this ain't what you want to do, then don't do it. But every time I hear people talk about, oh, we get in the black diamond. How? Because for the past 6 months, you've been on day one. How we getting the black diamond? Like, how are we doing it? You go to conference, you go to boot camp, you go to the events, you go to like all these things, and you still pay this distributor. Like, how are we We can't have 5 million paid as distributors and get to Black Diamond. Like, how are we saying this is what we want? We collectively, I'm not talking about one individual person, I'm talking about we collectively. If we're not going to do the work, stop playing. Like, stop showing up like, I'm going double diamond in 2 months. Like, no, you're not, because you won't even pick up the phone and make no phone calls. No, you're not. Like, that's not even like hope, right? That's like complete delirium. That's like complete disillusionment. I can come up with all the D words. Like, you lying, okay? You just saying it because it sounds cute and everybody else has a goal and everybody else is saying something and you don't want to be left behind. So don't just keep saying it. Like, pick up the phone and make the phone calls. Go do the parties. Like, hold yourself accountable. Don't nobody need to hold your hand. Everybody here is older than 18. Everybody in here got bills to pay. Everybody in here, if you don't got kids, you got some other responsibilities. So like, yeah, stop playing. Do what Rachel say do. I mean, because it ain't like she gonna steer you wrong. She know Jesus. It ain't like she gonna tell you something that you're not supposed to do. She don't want to be held accountable for what she tell you to do that's wrong. So like, just do it. Like she say, show up to the events, and you like, oh, I don't need to go to no event. I know what I'm doing. Do you? Because you ain't even saying you ain't even doing what your mentor say do. So clearly you don't know what you're doing. You think you know? Okay, just go back to work then. Go to work. Go find a job and go to work. Because clearly you're not ready to be mature enough, because that's what entrepreneurship is. Entrepreneurship is maturity, okay? It's maturity and responsibility and accountability. And I ain't new to this entrepreneur game, but I bet you this much, I won't go back to the business I had. I was literally just shredding papers like earlier this morning. And I was thinking to myself like, oh, Jesus, I'm glad I don't got to spend $10,000 on payroll no more. Oh, Jesus, I'm glad I don't got to spend $2,200 every month on liability insurances and all. Like, I am just so glad I'm in this space, because this space is so much freer than any other entrepreneur space you're going to find. Any brick and mortar entrepreneur space, any inventory-based entrepreneur space, this one is freer. And don't let yourself get off the hook and be like, oh, I can work from my phone in my bed, because I'm harping on this one because this was me like all day. Like, oh, I get to work from wherever I want. Sis, you're not working, you napping, okay? You falling asleep. Like, stop playing, get some discipline. Because when I was at the school and I had to teach them kids, and then I'm gonna stop. And Rachel, you said you had to go in the bathroom and cry. I ain't never had to go in the bathroom and cry to get myself together. But I bet you this, I had a nosebleed because I get nosebleeds, okay? Not because my blood pressure high, but just, that's just, I guess, who I am as a light skin. I don't know. Anyway, so I had a nosebleed, and I could not leave the school and be like, I gotta go home because my nose is bleed. Like, I took the room, put some cold water here and here, got my nosebleed together, and went back to work because them kids needed their teacher to teach them. And it's like, in this business, it's, oh, you got a nosebleed. Oh, girl, you can shut down, for the rest of the day. You can send your messages, send more messages tomorrow because you ain't get them done today because you had a nosebleed. Like, so what? You got ice in the freezer. Go get you some ice. Get your nosebleed together, send the messages with the other hand, because you don't need two hands. Hold the ice with the left hand, send the messages with the right. And it just gets frustrating. And I'm gonna stop here because I'm preaching to my own self, and I'd be like upset with my own self. Like, stop playing. Like, stop. What is it going to take? What is it going to take? Because you've had so many life instances. You maxed out your credit card to get a water heater. Your front porch roof was falling in. Like, what is it going to take for you to be like, okay, I'm gonna do what they say do. I'm gonna do what Rachel say do. I'm gonna do what Brittany say do. Because I'm gonna do what Andy say do. Because I'm not in a position to do what I want to do right now. So I either need me to say stop playing and do it, or just do what they say do. But either way, you ain't getting it to yourself. Like, you haven't gotten there on your own. So stop believing that you got it to do. Because if you had it to do, you would have done it. So just listen to Rachel. Just do what Rachel say do and stop playing, because everything else is playing. Everything else is playing. If you paid as distributor and your highest rank is like diamond, you playing. You playing. If you paid as distributor and your highest rank is ruby, you playing. Like, just stop playing. Stop playing. And I'm done. And I'm gonna stop playing. How about that? I'm gonna stop playing too.
Okay, I'm hop back in real quick. That's really good. Thank you, Patricia. Okay, I appreciate everything you said. Just to add to that, okay. One thing my pastor said yesterday, and he was talking, it was really good. He was talking about the book of Mark, chapter 4, and he said, and throughout his message, one of the things I wanted to share with you guys was that he said, we think it ain't God when it's rough. Like, God has put you guys here on this team, under this leadership, under this covering for a reason, you know? And so we have to submit, and you have to submit to your covering. And so if you're not submitted to your covering, then you're uncovered. And so I just wanted to share it, like, additional to what Patricia was saying, like, there's a reason, and just because it's rough, just because it's uncomfortable, doesn't mean this is not God, and doesn't mean that this isn't for you. You were sent here. He sent you here for a reason. So just wanted to encourage somebody's heart on that. There's some other stuff he said, but one of the things, I'll share this too in context, but it was, stop letting you manipulate you and making you think that because God isn't moving the way you want him to move, that he won't move. So he'll move, but you gotta be in agreement with him and who he has put you under the covering. You gotta be in agreement. So just want you to that.
You know, thank you. That was good. That was real good. Real good. I know my husband is on, but I know he has my kids, and he probably could say what I want to say better than, well, I think better than I could say it for, I don't know. It's crazy. On Sunday, yesterday, my pastor said, you know, I'm grateful for my leadership. So let me tell you that, even when I don't necessarily care for what she may be saying to me, I'm very grateful for my leadership, and I'm submitted to my leadership. And you know, she said that God's people could never get on her nerves. And I was like, girl, I was like, Jesus, give me a heart like my pastor's, okay? Like, they can never get on her nerves. And, you know, ultimately what she said is they're God's people, they're not hers anyway. And God has given us the ability to steward. And I often try to teach my leadership this. And so I'm gonna give you guys a little gem. Everybody who comes into your organization you should be grateful. Grateful. Extremely grateful. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't tell them what it is. And I pray that everybody on here prays for discernment, that God gives you discernment and wisdom. It's something I pray over you guys, because you'll know how hard to push, but there is a difference between discernment and wisdom opposed to you being scary. All right. So there's a big difference. And salt is salty, period. Okay. It's crazy because that's what my devotion was about today. It's salty, period. It's salty. It can't not be salty. It's salty. Right? Anybody ever put salt on something that you weren't supposed to put salt on? You're like, dang, I can't even take that off. Like, it's nasty. Like, it's salty. And so the real question is, are you real salt? Because real salt can't not be salt. And so when you are waking up, and this is why SDPD is so important, this is why if you lead a business with integrity, and this is why I think a lot of y'all shy back, because it's like, well, I can't tell them to do something I'm not doing. Well, do it. Like, do it. Like, what are you talking about? You're here. There is no fraudulent activity. Like, get up and do the work. Get up and do the work. Create the spaces. Follow A, B, C, D, E, F, G. If you need to, go back and watch Becoming. Like, go back and watch the Becoming series. Go back and watch. There's so many series that could set you up for success. Like, I think I have like 3 or 4 that you could literally go, and it would ultimately set you up to be an effective entrepreneur. I promise you. If it's not, then I mean, let a player know something. But I'm pretty sure it would set you up to be effective. And so I love what you said, Patricia, because if everybody was to do what they're supposed to do and trust the process, we would be Black Diamond. We would be a Black Diamond organization. Your check would rise if you trusted the process, if you submitted to the process, if you created the spaces that you needed to create, if you did the personal and spiritual development instead of doing it on the aftermath when you start to have a bad day, instead of just doing it daily like you're supposed to, if you listen to when you talk about hashtag your circle matters and you start to hang out with the team more than you're hanging out with people who are not going in the direction that you say you want to go. Like I always tell people, sometimes when I sign distributors, I tell them, I say, I say, I'm not even trying to be funny, but your mama ain't made no $1 million with It Works. So if you listen to your mom and them over me, you don't want to make no money, because your mom has not made $1 with It Works. And I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, you think your mom is trying to protect you, but mom hasn't made no money. So not with It Works. And this kind of goes back to what Patricia said. Like, if I haven't made this amount of money with It Works, how am I coming to somebody who's already done it, trying to tell them what I should be doing when it's not working, instead of submitting to the process. And the process it goes back to what Cass said. The process does hurt. It does. It even goes back to the whole scalpel. We haven't had that conversation in a while, because maybe I ain't cutting y'all up like I used to cut back in the day. But the scalpel versus a knife, the scalpel still hurts. The healing process is just easier. The scalpel and knife hurt. But the healing process with the scalpel is so much better than the knife, because the knife was meant to harm you. The scalpel was meant to heal you. But you still have to go through the process of the pain. That's inevitable. Why? Because it's in you and it has to get out. Because you've created things inside of you that were not healthy. And so they have to get out in order for you to go where you're supposed to go to. You can't go, if you do go there, you'll fall. And it's a facts conversation, because a lot of people have fallen. And I just say, to God be the glory, because I have fallen, but not as hard as I could have fallen. Okay, listen, praise the Lord. But you have to go through the process, and he has to get out and get into you what needs to get out and in you before he takes you to that place of longevity. When you think about John and Sherry Lynn, and this is stuff that I might take some time to analyze. But when you think about John and Sherry Lynn, they have taken 3 accounts to ambassador. Okay, 3. I've done it once. Okay, I've done it once. And I don't know if you guys were at conference, but those of you guys who were at conference, well, I do know some of y'all were at conference when John shouted out DE. Do y'all remember that? And they screamed over on the side. That's several ambassadors. They have ambassadors underneath them. I remember when Cammie, I don't know, she was Black Diamond, and we had a conversation, and she was like, all my ambassadors stay together. Why? Because we're better together. Like that whole, you have to learn how to find your voice. It's almost if you've never read the book, Leading While Not in Charge, that is how you build a massive organization. That book was a blessing. Okay. Boundaries for Leaders. That book is a blessing. Like, those are 2 books that you definitely want to read, but the Leading While Not in Charge is an excellent read. It's an excellent read. But that's one thing that I realized about their organization, just the same as Cammie's organization, the ability to be great, but still follow. And I'm gonna tell you, Black people struggle with this. I'm just be blatantly honest. Black people struggle with this, but we won't, because I believe the Spirit will guide us. And and if it takes time for him to raise up the ones that won't cause commotion, then hey, God, take your time. I'd rather him take his time than he brings somebody in here that's a hot mess. I would rather. But if he's speaking to you and you're saying, I'm the one, I can lead while following. Then it's time to stand up and actually lead. And the first person you have to lead before you ever think about leading an organization. And that doesn't mean, I'm not saying like, okay, that don't mean don't sign distributors. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you have to lead yourself. You have to lead yourself. And we lead out loud, y'all. We lead out loud. We lead out loud, and leading out loud is vulnerable. Come on, Daring Greatly. Even Dare to Lead by Brene Brown. That's another book by Brene Brown. So Daring Greatly, Brene Brown. Come on, some of y'all need to get to reading, for real reading. And some of y'all need to turn off your TV subscription. Your kid can watch YouTube. Turn off all your subscriptions because there's something on every subscription that you like. And so if it needs to be a season that you just had your kids watch YouTube, then hey, do that. Or if they need to just watch, Netflix or whatever. Some of y'all, I don't know, some of y'all need to let Netflix go and your kids will be all right. I promise you they will. I think Coco Melon and stuff come on YouTube. They do. Okay. Like they will be okay. Because if you don't remove it, you'll keep going back to it. You'll give yourself that space where, that was the word. If you don't remove it, you'll go back to it. And there may be seasons of removing. Makes me think about our fast. It may be seasons of removing. And some of y'all done tapped out. I feel it in my spirit. Some of y'all holding on. Okay, hold on. But like Keisha said, when she came in that voice memo, pick your face up. You don't allow the enemy to take you out and make you believe that you're too far gone to get back up. Like you never allow him to do you like that. It's the same thing with your business, because again, how you do anything is how you do everything. So if you're struggling with this fast, I'm going to tell you straight up, you need to learn how to clap back. You need to get loud. I'm struggling. I had a cup of coffee yesterday. I had some with sugar. I drank my kids' juice. Like, you need to get loud and tell on yourself. Because if not, the enemy will shame you. And then you'll hide because you'll feel ashamed and nobody even knows what's going on with you. But you think we're judging you and we don't even know. Nor can we care. If anything, we just want to pray for you so you can get out of that space where the enemy knocks you off every time. Because that's who we are. We're not an organization that's here to condemn you. When we bring conviction, we want it to bring change to your life. I want you to be in control of everything that you do. If you do something, let it be an informed decision instead of you being reactive or being whatever. So when it comes to this, I'm gonna tell you right now, we have a team goal of distributors and it's 31 people on here. So if 31 people on here signed one distributor, our goal would be 1/4 of the way done. 1/4 of the way. I asked some of the team huddles that I did, I asked them about like how much they care about their leader. How much do they care about their leader? So here's my question. Who do you care the most about? Put their name in the comments. Yes, it is. Cass. Who do you care the most about? Who is like one person that you would do anything for? Anything for? I want y'all to think about this. If there is the one person that you'll do anything for, whatever goal that you have, don't make it a goal if you're not willing to do it as if their life was on the line. Stop making goals, period, if you can't do it with the intensity of their life being on the line. For example, if you say I got a goal of losing 50 pounds, don't let that come out your mouth. If anything, say I got a goal of losing 10. Because if you're not willing to commit to it as if that person's life is on the line, stop making goals, because now when you say goals, you think it's okay to not hit them. You're lackadaisical. So when you come into this space and you like, I got a goal to go Ruby, you treat that like all the other goals, but that's not how we treat goals around here. When we make goals, it's goal or die. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that, I'm being exaggerating, but it's like straight up, like I'm giving it as if this person's life is on the line. That's the intensity that I give my goals. That's who you sitting with. So when I'm sitting in the midst of people who their goal means it would be nice. Oh no, this ain't the space for that goal. You better just claim 400 Club and then actually make it happen. And 400 Club is 400 PBV. I know we've been struggling with this. So 500 Club is 500 PBV. That's personal bonus volume. Shut up. I'm not talking about you. It was more than just you. It was more than just you. It's personal bonus volume, because I did it too, because I just thought somebody knew what they was talking about, but it doesn't matter. It's PBV. So when you say that you're gonna do something and that's your goal, you should think about it day and night. If you're thinking about losing 50 pounds day and night, you don't put certain stuff in your mouth. When you're thinking about your business day and night, like let's just say somebody took your kids and they was like, all right, you got 24 hours to do this. You're gonna think about doing this day and night. Every waking moment, you probably won't even sleep. I'm not sleeping until I get my kids back. Where is that level of intensity? It should be that level of intensity. That's what it should be like. And so when you say I'm going to do foreigner friend, I'm going to go Ruby, like drop a me in the comments if you are eligible for a Ruby or Emerald bonus. Drop a me in the comments. I believe it's literally probably 90% of the Zoom is eligible for a Ruby or Emerald bonus. You should have that chart right here, all times, always focusing on who you're helping and which box you're filling. Especially the Ruby, y'all. Like Ruby, you can go Ruby. Some of y'all ain't even really tapped into your network yet. I've exhausted the heck out of my hot network. I mean, what was hot network way back in the day. Everybody was becoming a distributor. Ask the people that I know. I was like, yo, you have to come make some money with me. And at this point right now, I got somebody playing where I need to sign a distributor today. And so guess what I'm going to do? Every phone call I make, all these PDTs, hey, hello, yes, do you want to make 150 by next week? And are you willing to work for it? Yeah, no, all right, next. Yeah, I used to make phone calls for when I was in college, I had a job where I would book appointments for insurance guy. So I would literally go through and make phone calls and book him appointments. Anybody worked at a call center? They got inbound and outbound. It don't matter which side you on. Just do your job. It don't even matter. I don't know these people in real life. If they come into my team, I get to know them in real life. If they become my customer, I'll get to know them in real life. But outside of that, who are you? Used to get cussed out, hung up on, like all kinds of stuff. So, all right, God bless. The only reason I was in my feelings is because I was having a bad day. And again, that goes back to then I'm not doing my job. Y'all get what I'm saying? Like, as much as this is a personal business, it's a business at the end of the day. It is. And I ain't even gonna lie, like I'm gonna share this. Oh, it's 11 o'clock. I'm gonna share this though, real quick. So y'all, Brittany on here, shout out to Brittany Page. She that's whose party we had on Friday. And yeah, she hasn't even celebrated a month in the business yet. And I think she had like 3 weeks. And she has already went executive. We just waiting on, she just has to be commission qualified, but she already went executive. And she is about 600, 700. I'll give 700, maybe 750 away from Ruby, the Ruby bonus. So she's about 750 from her Ruby bonus, 750 in her first month of being here. Now, I went to her page the other day to just scroll. Brittany texts me every day. She finally took a day off. I hope she took yesterday off. Now we're going to talk about it. But this girl last week, or maybe the week before, her daughter was in the hospital 2 nights. I didn't hear about it one time. She didn't feel good. I did not hear about it. The only reason I knew about it is because I went to her page. Are you so full of excuses that your why doesn't even matter anymore? And it's crazy because I'm like, thank God. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like I could go to her page and pray, but ultimately like, thank God. I don't not show up because unless I physically cannot show up, I'm still showing up because my why matters. I mean, those of y'all who've been around, like I could be straight in the hospital. What you doing? Yeah, anybody ever been in the hospital before or went to go visit somebody in the hospital? 9 times out of 10, you just sitting there. Why can't you work your business? And that's facts, because I've been to the hospital a lot, okay? A lot. You're just sitting there. And so how important is your why? And so that's why I said, who's somebody that you'll do anything for? That needs to be your why. That needs to be the actual gas for your why. Because this, I want a house, boo, you don't care about that house. You don't. That house ain't making you wake up at 5 a.m. It's just not. I want a car, I want a rope. No, you don't. You really don't. It would be nice. It would be nice. Some of y'all, it's like, I want to get off food stamps. You a lie. You enjoy getting that reload every single month. You be like, yes, like straight up cashing out. Like, stop lying. That ain't why. So figure it out. That's not it. That's not your why. You need a new why. You need a new why. Because some of y'all need some different stuff where that stuff will just happen automatically once you focus on something different. And so if y'all need to get down with doing something for somebody else, then do it. If we need to have a phone conversation so you can see all the things that I pay for, so you can get some ammunition about how, I spend a lot of time with you guys, but some of y'all don't even run an auto shipment, then, maybe we should talk about that. And that ain't no shade. That's straight up. Because you can sacrifice the auto shipment that you can sell. You can literally sell your auto shipment. I ran my auto shipment when I didn't have the money because it made me work my business. In the beginning, before I had like a massive organization, auto shipment was law for me. Because if I didn't have that investment, I wasn't going to invest. Why am I investing my time? I ain't spend no money. If I don't show up this month, it's okay. Absolutely not. I need to feel that every single month. So I show up. I done got all this product. Listen, I'm finna use it, get some results, share some pictures. I'm finna wrap. Somebody finna get wrapped today because I got to pay for daycare. I got to pay for, you know what I'm saying? And if I'm taking money away for this business, then I need to actually work it. And the reason I'm going to work it and I'm not going to make excuses for it not working is because I'm tired of being broke. I'm tired of not having money for daycare. I'm tired of that. And I tried education. And what does education do? Give me bigger in the hole. Why would I do that? Why would I do that? Why would I give away more of my time by going to get another job? Why would I do that? When I want my kid in a safe and secure environment. Why would I? Who I'm trying to watch my kids? Why would I do that? So hopefully this is a wake up today. I love y'all. I think y'all are amazing. Some of y'all who knew, you like, what did I get into? I know. I know. Hopefully you can hear our heart today and just be encouraged that this is a great space for you to fully push over and get past all the things that are blocking you from going to the next level and start taking yourself seriously. Like seriously, start taking yourself seriously because you are a business owner and this will change your life. It will. Most don't give themselves the opportunity to do it, but it will. It will. It will. And as you sit in here and you caress your mind, because let me tell you, finessing your mind is an actual skill. It's a skill. When you get into, some people get into organizations and jobs where it doesn't have to finesse their mind. They're practically the walking dead. Do y'all get what I'm saying? Like when you think about people, and I ain't even trying to be shady, but like even some of our families, most of our family, okay, who've been at jobs 20, 30 years where they don't have to use their mind to do their jobs. They're not in the capacity because their brain is not growing at the level that, I mean, they don't even get new certifications. It's literally the same stuff over and over and over again. That's not here. We're different. You're going to grow by leaps and bounds, and you're probably going to outgrow a lot of people that you're surrounded by. But we still love them, but they can't be your inner circle. We still love them, but they cannot be your inner circle. And so I'm going to pray, and we're going to get up off of here, and happy Monday. Those of y'all who are off work today, get it in. If you guys have the opportunity to have workspaces, definitely do that as well. I